Sleep is often misunderstood. Many people see it as a time when the body shuts down, but in truth, it is one of the most active and regenerative periods of the entire day, especially when it comes to repairing muscle tissue, optimizing hormonal balance, and resetting the nervous system. What you do in the last 60 minutes before bed can significantly influence how effective that overnight recovery process becomes. And the key, it starts with what you eat. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your body during sleep. When you enter non-REM deep sleep, typically within the first half of the night, your brain initiates the glymphatic process, clearing out cellular waste and resetting the neurochemical environment. Meanwhile, a burst of growth hormone is released by the pituitary gland. This single hormone is responsible for triggering muscle tissue repair, collagen synthesis, fat metabolism, and immune system regulation. But growth hormone doesn't work in isolation. It needs fuel. And this is where nighttime nutrition enters the picture. If you go to bed in a fasted state, especially after physical or cognitive exertion, your body may begin breaking down muscle to provide the amino acids necessary for tissue repair. That's the last thing you want. Instead, you want to provide it with the right type of protein that can supply a slow, sustained release of amino acids throughout the night. This is where casein comes into play. Unlike whey protein, which digests quickly and is best suited for post-workout recovery, casein digests slowly, providing a steady stream of leucine and other essential amino acids to muscle cells for up to 7 hours. Studies showed that individuals who consume casein protein before sleep experience greater overnight muscle protein synthesis and better retention of lean mass over time. But protein is only one piece of the puzzle. To truly optimize sleep quality and neurological repair, the brain requires neurotransmitter precursors, specifically those that help regulate circadian rhythm and sleep depth. Tryptophan is one such amino acid. It acts as the raw material for serotonin and eventually melatonin, the hormone that governs sleep-wake cycles. However, tryptophan competes with other amino acids to cross the blood-brain barrier, so to get it into the brain more efficiently, you need a small amount of carbohydrate to spike insulin slightly and create the right transport conditions. Complex carbs like oats or bananas are ideal for this. They elevate insulin just enough to tip the balance in favor of tryptophan uptake without creating a blood sugar crash. Another critical player is magnesium. This mineral acts on the GABAergic system, which quiets down overactive neural circuits and prepares the brain for rest. Low magnesium levels have been associated with insomnia, nighttime awakenings, and restless legs. Consuming magnesium-rich foods such as pumpkin seeds, almonds, or even dark leafy greens before bed helps activate parasympathetic pathways, lower cortisol, and promote deeper, more restorative sleep stages. Putting it all together, an ideal pre-sleep nutrition routine might include a bowl of Greek yogurt or cottage cheese for its casein content, a half banana or small serving of oats for tryptophan transport, and a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds to cover your magnesium needs. It's a simple, science-backed strategy that primes your physiology to enter a deeper, more anabolic sleep state. This is not about eating for the sake of habit. It's about feeding your recovery system. Your body is always listening, especially during sleep. By choosing the right foods before bed, you're not just satisfying hunger, you're triggering powerful neurochemical and hormonal processes that enhance sleep, protect muscle, and support overall health. It's a nightly opportunity to rebuild stronger, one that begins on your plate. Sleep is not a passive event. It's an incredibly active biological process where your body repairs, rebuilds, and recalibrates. It's during this period that human growth hormone peaks, the brain resets, and your muscles recover from the stress of the day. But one often overlooked factor can significantly influence the effectiveness of this nightly recovery window: what you eat before bed. That final meal or snack isn't just about preventing midnight hunger. Done correctly, it can be a scientifically backed strategy to improve sleep quality and supercharge muscle growth. This is where nutrition meets neuroscience, and understanding the right choices can completely shift how you sleep, recover, and grow. Your body enters a critical recovery state during the first half of the night, especially in non-REM deep sleep stages. Growth hormone, responsible for tissue repair, fat metabolism, and muscle development, is secreted in pulses during this period. But its ability to do its job depends heavily on whether the body has access to sufficient nutrients. If the bloodstream lacks amino acids due to a fasted state, your body may shift to breaking down muscle tissue for fuel. That's a costly trade-off. Instead, giving your system slow digesting protein ensures a steady supply of the building blocks needed for overnight repair. Casein protein, found in foods like Greek yogurt and cottage cheese, is particularly effective. It digests over the course of several hours, releasing amino acids slowly and consistently, feeding muscle cells all night long. Research has consistently shown that consuming casein before sleep enhances overnight muscle protein synthesis and can help maintain lean muscle, particularly important as we age. However, nutrition before bed is about more than just muscle. It directly influences the brain, sleep quality, and the nervous system. Neurotransmitters like serotonin, GABA, and melatonin are the chemical messengers that determine how quickly you fall asleep, how deeply you sleep, and whether your sleep is truly restorative. And these powerful chemicals require specific nutrients to be produced. Tryptophan is a critical amino acid that serves as a precursor to serotonin, which is later converted into melatonin. The challenge is that tryptophan must compete with other amino acids to enter the brain, but there's a proven way to help it along. Pair your evening protein with a small amount of complex carbohydrates. A half banana, a spoonful of oats, or even a few berries can trigger a slight insulin response, which in turn increases tryptophan's transport across the blood-brain barrier. This simple combination can help elevate melatonin naturally, reduce sleep latency, the time it takes to fall asleep, and improve overall sleep depth. Then comes the role of key micronutrients, specifically magnesium. Magnesium is essential for regulating the nervous system, balancing cortisol levels, and calming the mind. It also plays a role in supporting the GABA pathway, which promotes relaxation and inhibits excessive brain activity as you prepare to sleep. Low magnesium levels are associated with fragmented sleep, higher nighttime wakefulness, and increased muscle cramping. Fortunately, magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds, almonds, or even dark chocolate can be seamlessly incorporated into your pre-bed routine. The effect? A calmer nervous system, reduced stress response, and deeper uninterrupted rest. Altogether, this is not about eating late at night for indulgence or comfort. It's about strategic, purposeful fueling of the systems your body depends on while you sleep. A well-composed snack, say a bowl of Greek yogurt with banana slices and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds, offers the perfect trio. Slow digesting protein, a natural serotonin booster, and a nervous system calming mineral. It's a small but powerful habit. Each night, you're either supporting or sabotaging your body's ability to recover. With the right bedtime nutrition, you're not just falling asleep, you're activating a full-scale recovery process that strengthens your body, sharpens your mind, and prepares you to perform better tomorrow. Most people go to bed thinking sleep is just about rest, but biologically, sleep is where the real transformation happens. Your body doesn't simply shut down at night, it becomes a repair and growth machine, orchestrating complex neurochemical and hormonal activity to rebuild muscles, reset brain function, and restore energy. The missing link for many, however, is nutrition. What you eat in the hour before bed can either enhance this natural process or work against it. Neuroscience shows that certain nutrients consumed before sleep can trigger specific hormones and neurotransmitters, improve the quality of deep sleep, and promote faster, more efficient muscle repair overnight. This isn't just theory, it's practical science that can be implemented starting tonight. Muscle growth doesn't only happen during a workout. In fact, the actual growth occurs during rest, particularly deep sleep, when the body secretes growth hormone in powerful pulses. But for that hormone to work efficiently, it needs a steady stream of amino acids. That's where casein protein comes in. Unlike fast-digesting whey, casein breaks down slowly, delivering essential amino acids like leucine throughout the night. This steady delivery helps prevent muscle breakdown and supports overnight muscle protein synthesis. Several clinical studies confirm that individuals who consume around 30 grams of casein before sleep experience measurable improvements in recovery, lean muscle preservation, and overall protein balance. This is especially beneficial for older adults or anyone aiming to maintain muscle mass while sleeping. Choosing the right kind of protein, casein over whey, isn't just a dietary preference, it's a strategic choice rooted in how your body digests and utilizes nutrients overnight. But protein alone doesn't determine the quality of your sleep or the depth of your recovery. The brain relies on a precise neurochemical environment to transition into and sustain restorative sleep. One key player in this process is tryptophan, an amino acid that acts as the building block for serotonin and melatonin. Tryptophan can be found in foods like dairy, oats, and bananas. However, it has a hard time crossing the blood-brain barrier unless paired with a small dose of carbohydrate. A modest amount of complex carbs triggers a gentle insulin release, which shuttles competing amino acids into muscle tissue and clears the way for tryptophan to enter the brain. Once inside, it converts into serotonin, improving mood and relaxing the nervous system, and eventually into melatonin, which helps you fall asleep and maintain a healthy circadian rhythm. The result is not only easier sleep onset, but deeper, uninterrupted rest. This approach doesn't require supplements or synthetic hormones, just smart food pairing rooted in biology. There's another crucial layer to this sleep-nutrition connection, the nervous system. After a long day filled with stimulation, stress, and sensory input, the brain must shift from a high-leptic sympathetic state into a calming parasympathetic state for sleep to occur. This is where magnesium plays an essential role. Often referred to as nature's tranquilizer, magnesium helps calm the central nervous system by regulating GABA, the main inhibitory neurotransmitter responsible for slowing brain activity and promoting relaxation. Low magnesium levels have been linked to insomnia, restless sleep, and nighttime awakenings. Including magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, or even dark chocolate before bed can have a profound effect on how quickly and deeply you fall asleep. Magnesium also supports muscle relaxation, helping reduce cramping and twitching that can disturb sleep, particularly in active individuals or older adults. When you combine these elements, casein for slow regress protein tryptophan with carbs to enhance melatonin production, and magnesium to relax the nervous system, you create the perfect biological conditions for both quality sleep and muscle recovery. It's not about eating late at night just for pleasure. It's about nourishing your system strategically, using food as a tool to support your body's natural rhythms. When done consistently, this small change can lead to noticeable improvements in how you sleep, how you feel in the morning, and how well your body performs, heals, and grows over time. Every night, as we close our eyes and drift into sleep, an incredible biological process begins beneath the surface, one that is responsible for repairing tissues, growing muscle, rebalancing hormones, and resetting the brain's cognitive functions. Far from being idle, the body becomes an engine of restoration. But for this complex system to function at its best, it needs fuel. And the timing of that fuel matters. What you eat in the hour before bed can either prime your system for optimal repair or leave your body undernourished during its most critical regenerative window. Neuroscience and nutrition research now point to the importance of specific foods that can improve both sleep architecture and muscle growth when consumed before sleep. The first cornerstone of this approach is understanding the relationship between sleep and muscle repair. Deep sleep, particularly in the earlier part of the night, is the phase when your body secretes the highest levels of growth hormone. This hormone signals muscle repair and triggers the rebuilding of damaged tissue from exercise or stress. However, in order for this rebuilding process to occur effectively, your body must have access to the right amino acids. This is where casein, a slow digesting protein, becomes so important. Found in foods like cottage cheese and Greek yogurt, casein is unique in that it releases amino acids gradually over several hours. By consuming casein before bed, you provide a steady supply of nutrients that your body can draw from throughout the night, maximizing muscle protein synthesis and preventing muscle breakdown. For athletes and aging adults alike, this can be a game changer in preserving lean mass and supporting long-term physical health. The second pillar in enhancing nighttime recovery is addressing the neurochemical landscape of the brain. Quality sleep doesn't begin and end with just lying down. It requires the brain to transition through precise phases of light, deep, and REM sleep. These phases are guided by neurotransmitters and hormones like serotonin, melatonin, and GABA. One key amino acid involved in this pathway is tryptophan. Tryptophan is essential because it serves as the raw material for serotonin, which later converts into melatonin, the hormone that controls sleep-wake cycles. However, tryptophan needs help to reach the brain. It competes with other amino acids for absorption, and its passage across the blood-brain barrier is enhanced when paired with a small dose of carbohydrates. This is why combining tryptophan-rich foods with complex carbohydrates, like a banana with yogurt or oats with milk, can lead to better melatonin production and deeper, more consistent sleep. You're not just feeding your stomach, you're feeding the brain the molecules it needs to transition into restful sleep. The third element is the often overlooked but vital mineral magnesium. This micronutrient is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, many of which affect the nervous system and muscle function. Magnesium helps regulate cortisol, calm the mind, and support the neurotransmitter GABA, which slows neural activity and promotes relaxation. Low levels of magnesium can result in difficulty falling asleep, light sleep, or frequent waking during the night. Fortunately, adding magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds, almonds, or even a square of dark chocolate before bed can promote deeper sleep and reduce physical tension. This mineral is especially useful for individuals dealing with stress, high activity levels, or nighttime muscle cramps. Finally, these nutritional strategies are only as effective as the consistency with which they are applied. The goal is not to consume a heavy meal or indulge in late-night snacking, but to incorporate a balanced and intentional pre-sleep snack that supports both brain chemistry and physical repair. An ideal example might be a small bowl of Greek yogurt topped with sliced banana and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds, where it's nutrient-dense, easy to digest, and supports the exact biological processes needed during sleep. Over time, this kind of targeted nutrition can improve not just how well you sleep, but how you recover, perform, and age. Sleep is often described as a passive state, but in truth, it's one of the most dynamic and metabolically active phases in the 24-hour cycle. While the conscious mind rests, the body begins an internal transformation. Hormonal secretions peak, muscles repair, the brain detoxifies, and energy systems reset. This entire process is largely dependent on how well your body is supported nutritionally. Neuroscience now reveals that your final meal before sleep can dramatically influence how efficiently these processes occur. Eating the right combination of nutrients before bed can enhance sleep quality, boost overnight muscle protein synthesis, and improve next day energy and recovery. The first key area to understand is how deeply intertwined sleep and muscle growth are. During the early stages of deep non-REM sleep, the body releases a powerful pulse of growth hormone. This hormone is crucial for muscle repair, tissue regeneration, fat metabolism, and overall cellular repair. But the effectiveness of growth hormone is significantly influenced by whether the body has access to essential amino acids. This is why consuming slow digesting proteins such as casein is so effective. Unlike fast-acting proteins that break down quickly, casein provides a steady release of amino acids for up to 7 hours. Found in cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, and casein protein powder, this nutrient has been shown in multiple studies to support overnight muscle protein synthesis and prevent muscle breakdown. It's especially helpful for older adults who naturally experience muscle loss with age, and for anyone engaged in physical training or recovery. The second aspect to consider is the neurochemical environment necessary for falling asleep and staying asleep. The brain's ability to transition into sleep and cycle through its various phases depends on several key neurotransmitters: serotonin, GABA, and melatonin. Tryptophan is an amino acid that plays a central role in this process. It converts into serotonin, which calms the brain and supports emotional balance, and then into melatonin, which regulates your circadian rhythm. However, tryptophan has difficulty crossing the blood-brain barrier due to competition with other amino acids. A small amount of complex carbohydrates, like a slice of banana or a spoon of oats, can raise insulin just enough to promote the movement of tryptophan into the brain. Once inside, it stimulates the sleep cycle naturally without the need for synthetic sleep aids. This simple combination of protein and carbohydrate becomes a biological strategy to enhance sleep depth and continuity. The third key factor is the body's nervous system. After a long day, especially one filled with stimulation or stress, the nervous system needs to shift from sympathetic, fight or flight, to parasympathetic, rest and digest, dominance, to allow for restorative sleep. This is where magnesium enters the picture. Known for its calming and anti-inflammatory properties, magnesium supports the production of GABA, the inhibitory neurotransmitter that slows brain activity and promotes relaxation. Foods like pumpkin seeds, almonds, and dark leafy greens are excellent natural sources. Low magnesium levels are strongly correlated with insomnia, anxiety, and muscle cramps. Including magnesium-rich foods before bed helps calm the nervous system, reduce stress hormones like cortisol, and improve sleep efficiency. Fourth, it's essential to recognize that bedtime eating is not about heavy meals or emotional comfort food. It's about intentional, targeted nutrition. The goal is to consume a light, easily digestible snack that fuels the body without overloading the digestive system. A bowl of Greek yogurt with banana slices and a few pumpkin seeds delivers casein, protein, tryptophan, magnesium, and slow digesting carbs, all in one simple meal. This isn't indulgence, it's strategic preparation for one of the most important healing periods your body undergoes every day. Finally, consistency is the linchpin that makes these strategies effective. It's not about a one-time fix. Your body responds best when it receives reliable cues. Creating a nightly routine that includes proper sleep hygiene, low stimulation environments, and nutrient-dense snacks can rewire your internal clock, enhance hormone regulation, and optimize muscle and nervous system recovery. Over time, these micro decisions yield macro results: better sleep, stronger muscles, improved performance, and greater resilience across every area of life.